Sometimes, sometimes his eyes are so worn out that she just wants to dive into them and pull him out of whatever he's been drowning in. Sometimes, sometimes his eyes are so worn out that she feels her heart begging him to let her save him, to give her a chance, to give her an in. She can't help but feel that saving him means saving a part of herself that's been longing to come up for some air. Sometimes she wants to say to him, let it all go up in flames. Let it all go up in flames and just walk away. She wants to tell him that it's not his fire to extinguish. Sometimes she wants to save him before it's too late. For him, for her. She wants to say that it's easier than it looks. She wants to say that it's easier than it looks because it looks as though there are many hands holding him under, but she can pull him up with her grasp. She can pull him up with her grasp without being pulled under. She wants to say that it's easier than it looks because of who he is, because of everything that he already is. A perfect canvas. It's just that along the way, life put its muddy handprints all over it, and it got really hard to see the original painting again. She just wants to throw that muddied canvas into her waters and watch how effortlessly, how easily he can see himself again in ways that he never thought that he would see himself. She wants him to know how easy it is, how easy it can be. It can happen today. It can happen now. Not a year from now, not 10 years from now, not when it is too late. She wants to know, she wants him to know how grace is begging for a chance to touch upon him. But she wants him to know that she's also felt those hands pulling her under, but she would never give them authority over her soul, over her existence. She wants him to know that part of her was scared to reach in to pull him out because she was exhausted from keeping her head above water for some time, worn out from fighting for herself. She wants him to know that even when she pulled herself out of it all and put herself first in her world, part of her never stopped rooting for him, to have his peace, to have his worth solidified and recognized within him, to have him belong to himself again. She wants him to know that as she stands strong and firm in her truth, soft and gentle in her heart, she would hold his heart. She would ease his tired mind. She would let his worn out body fall into her embrace. She wants him to know that when he got tired of trying to remember himself and it was easier to forget it all, she would constantly remember him because her eyes would never tire seeing his soul. She wants him to know that even if he felt all lights extinguished inside of his being, that she herself knew how to walk around in the darkness. She knew how to find the lights and switch them back on. She wants him to know that she knows he's been feeling everything closing in on him for a long time, that it has been closed in on him for a long time. She knows that he's given up, but that's okay. We can only fight so much before the fight has exhausted our bones. She wants him to know that he hasn't lost and he isn't yet to win. He is already a victor now. She needs him to know that she sees that heart of his, that bloodied heart of his that has been abandoned, left out in the cold, the heart that has been used, ripped open and apart, the heart that has been misunderstood constantly, begging to be seen for its goodness, constantly begging to be cared for, to be taken care of, to be loved, to be adored, to be respected, to be honored, to be protected, to be held safe. But your heart has been through it. She needs him to know that grace is there. Grace is there to restore his heart. The very heart that seems to be a mess, a bloody mess. Grace is there to restore his heart to its rightful place, to its throne. She wants to tell him that he doesn't have to do anything anymore, that her grace will quietly weave its ways through his heart and bring it back to life again, and bring it back to life again, because in the midst of it all, he deserves to feel his own heart beating, his own heart alive inside of him. In the meantime, she would weather the storms of his mind for him. She would bring peace to the monstrosity of conflicts inside of his heart. She would bring the solidity of true foundation to his life. A life that has been too volatile for too long, too uneasy for too long. She would bring solidity of true foundation to his life so that he can walk with his head held high, proud of himself, and live with his heart alive inside of him. And finally, she wanted to tell him. And finally, she wanted to tell him that she was sorry for withholding her heart from him for so long. But she had to forge her own path that allowed her to give him all the things that she can offer unto him now with ease and grace. There was always a part of her heart that belonged to him, and when she gave that unto him, she realized that it was more than just withholding her heart from him. It was withholding a part of her heart from herself. Her heart felt a new sense of peace, a new sense of freedom, a new sense of wholeness, like it was breathing more fully and more at ease. Her heart was finally at peace with itself. Amen.